Ukrainian military, so they are actually seeing another combat life away from the British forces. So back to the Pink Panther. Thanks, David. So in approximately 1969 there were 72 of them in Bedford market at Cambridge.
Yeah, he slowed down.
Now this is a 109-inch chassis, but it's got more rugged, that much more able to carry quite a lot more load. Still powered by the same 2286cc 2.25 litre petrol 4-cylinder engine, but as you can see, an awful lot of modifications carried out on these. Only 72 built for the SAS. That very fetching pink shade, believe it or not, was actually the most appropriate colour for some of the areas that these Pink Panthers actually served in, particularly in areas such as Oman, where it's said that early in the morning and later in the evening the sand does have a pink appearance, apparently. So that's the 1969 Landrover Pink Panther. That's joined by a 110 Desert Patrol vehicle with what was seen as used by the SAS in the First Gulf War 1991. A huge amount of effort and research has gone into this particular vehicle to get it as accurate as possible. And just talking to Steve Leggett, the owner, and he told me that he was actually talking to a crew member of one of these vehicles. One of the guys that actually served on these and said, I've never known this was a replica vehicle, a tribute vehicle. So that I think is a testimony to the amount of work. Spotted this engine, the roads were built, and the rest is history. And that's powered not just Land Rovers, but a whole variety of British vehicles over the years. Now Steve's gone to a huge amount of trouble to find the exact correct communications equipment, the correct weapons, even the base of the personal kit. He's gone to the level of detail, making sure that what we've seen on photographs of the actual vehicle are completely accurate. Chassis. But it's been handed over to Marshall of Cambridge, you've mentioned already. One such area, and at certain times of the day the desert sand has a very much pink tinge to it, so that slight dull dark shade of pink actually helped that vehicle to blend into the background. And of course being able to blend into the background is very, very easy the difference between success or failure, life or death. Many brackets and specialist fittings all over these Pink Panthers. Only 72 of those aircraft for parachute in Open. I don't think there was anything salvageable including light bulbs when that hit the ground, sadly. But quite a few of those still survived. Typically we all have an extra defence number plate, and that's how you can tell them at a distance. I think the conclusion for the front wheels is got the front plate. Typically we're three. Also going around, we've got another M3801, and production started in the early 50s, as we mentioned before. It's difficult to nail down exactly what year. There's lots of different company, and after a while recap effectively were manufacturing these for the Dutch and for other European and Middle Eastern users. Quite a few of these actually manufactured by a Canadian manufacturer, Polaris. I don't know the manufacturer of that one. As it gets a bit closer to the ceiling, have a better look. Repairing vehicle, and the rest of the family were all sold different variants. This one is a missile carrier. We're carrying Streamfire missiles in the back.